in McLaren. Big surprise over the last few races.
I would
Tested.
I think it's I would rather say it's big letdown because they've easily had the fastest car the last 3 to 5 races. But how many wins have they had? How
They
many?
had two only.
Two wins. Yeah, in the last 3 to 5 races they have the fastest car, but they only had 2 wins. Norris won, Piastri won, but Mercedes not having the fastest car in the last 3 to 5 races. How many have they won?
They've already won 3.
They won 3. So like that shows again to my last point. McLaren are not battle hardened. McLaren are not the sharpest knife in the.
No, bro, they're busy digging hole in Red Bull's garage. Zach Brown, every time, the moment you open the F1 official website or any Instagram social media site, Zach Brown.
Did you see? Zach Brown challenged Toto Wolff and Christian Horner to a team boss race.
Sounds right.
Hi guys, welcome to episode 24. I'm Harris,
I'm Kumar.
and we are with Eugene again.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us this weekend.
Yo, I just can't stop taking pictures, bro. What have you brought?
Okay, so you guys see a lot of die cars in front, right? So these cars are all 1/18 scales. So I'm not a die cast collector, but Kumar and Eugene is a fanatic. Okay, so without further ado, this weekend we're gonna talk about die casts in our first segment. So you don't see much F1 cars, but all the cars that you see here are all related to F1, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct.
Really.
There's a piece of history in every road car, and they are inspired from Formula One and the rich history of Formula One. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the orange car first.
The orange car is a McLaren, and it's the F1 GTR. This one is a LM spec. So the McLaren is conceived from the McLaren MP44, which is one of the most dominant McLaren F1 cars ever. The designer is Gordon Murray, and I think sometimes when you're a designer, right, you can't help but because F1 is so technical and the rules are so limited. So designers, they like to think out of the box. They like to see what else they can add, and they like to bring the technologies from their Formula One car into road cars, as you will see evidence across the board. The first one here is in 1988, where Gordon Murray decided that he wants to bring the F1 technology, the speed.
Sorry, 1988.
Yeah,
I'm only 2 years old.
At 2 years old.
I feel old.
Yeah, it's been quite a while, and this car still looks quite stunning.
Exactly.
It still looks like it's something from the future. That's because you can see. I mean, the wings are a bit outdated probably, but if you get in the car, it's a single seater. In the passenger, the driver is in the center, no space for passengers. But maybe you at 2 years old can fit inside.
I would say that this car still can beat some of the current race cars or production race version cars.
Yeah, actually, you guys, what I like about the McLaren F1, even though there is the 650, the 720s and all that, this is the only car that is a center driver's position.
Yes, and
One and only.
the fun fact about this is when you buy this car, in the driver's seat, it comes with attached ear muffles because the engine is so loud.
Yeah.
The engine at that time is based off, if I'm not mistaken, it's also the Formula One engine. So because it's so loud for the driver, you actually have to sit in and put in earmuffs, and it comes together with the car.
I remember playing.
I believe so, yes.
Playing this car in Need for Speed.
Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Is it in the orange spec as well?
Yeah, orange spec, and also Gran Turismo.
Right. Yeah. When I think the iconic one was when it first rolled off the garage, it was a silver spec. The silver F1. Yeah. This one has extra wings and stuff. Because this one is inspired from the Le Mans. This car eventually they made one version to race in Le Mans, and this one is actually a tribute to Le Mans, but its origins are from.
So they had the few versions, long tail, short tail, and some of them are Super GT spec.
Right.
There's a variety of McLarens out there. People will sometimes ask me, why this McLaren differs from another McLaren.
Yep.
They have their own spec. They are detuned, some of them, according to the race specification.
Yes.
So what you see here right now at the moment is a road version of a Le Mans car. Basically a Le Mans car.
Yep.
And you will be surprised of what engine is using actually. So Eugene, can explain what engine is it using?
I'm not too familiar with the engine architecture, but just now you mentioned it was a BMW.
Yes, BMW and Power V12.
Yeah. Also, they use a BMW.
Yeah. It's a BMW powertrain.
And it's gold plated. The engine is gold plated.
Gold price is at all-time high, bro.
So I'm not sure if your diecast is it openable?
It's openable. We can.
So you haven't tried lah.
We haven't tried.
Jangan try lah.
It's okay. Screw on. Better not. Okay, these guys are very, very sensitive to their toys.
Yeah, but this one I believe is made by Auto Art. Auto Art during at that time they do die-cast metal, which is full opening. If I'm not mistaken, the engine bay all can be opened.
It's quite fine, their products. Auto Art, those days, even now also. Looking at the prices itself, you know already.
But nowadays, I believe Auto Art make composite opening ones. It's
Seals, right? All of them are sealed.
sealed, or if they're opening ones, they're composite. So it's a plastic material, plastic mix. So
Cheaper than yours?
nowadays, but funnily enough, if you buy this at retail, I think it's cheaper than today's composite models.
Why?
Inflation, bro. You're #1 now can buy one.
This is cheaper, is it?
This is cheaper at retail when they first released.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the price today will set you back.
Resellers are not
Okay.
selling cheap.
Before we hop on to the red car,
Yeah.
what's the current market value for a McLaren F1? Maybe you can tell the fans.
The actual car or this
The
model?
actual car.
The actual car, I think a recent a recent auction went for I think
Yeah, man.
tens of millions.
Tens of millions.
Yeah, tens of 15 million. Come on, I can
What?
check
yeah.
it.
Is it a limited run for the diecast and the actual car?
The diecast is a limited run. I mean, Auto Art only makes one run and
Yeah,
that's it.
correct.
But the actual car, there's only I think for this orange spec, there's I think 15 examples of it only, and some of them they are owned by either famous people or the people who are not willing to sell. So there's a lot of history on it.
Okay. While Kumar and Eugene goes googling on McLaren F1, let me talk about the Enzo Ferrari. Okay. Enzo Ferrari is actually a car that was actually developed together by Michael Schumacher and the Ferrari factory. And is actually a translation of technology from Formula One right to the road car. So this is the reason why Formula One is actually the platform for manufacturers to test out new features, new technology, and they actually translate the technology back to the road cars. So this car is actually a limited run, and not any Tom, Dick and Harry can actually buy this car. It's actually, if you're a Ferrari owner, you must actually own one or two, because I have a friend in Thailand who actually wanted to buy an Enzo and he was not able to.
Oh wow! Even if you had the money for it.
So he went to the dealership. He said, "Sir, how many Ferraris have you owned? Have you owned the California? Have you owned the Modena? And have you owned the 458?
Wow.
So if you have done that, then I'll give you a waiting list."
Oh, wait. So So Ferrari still sells the Enzo. So you mean to say if let's say I'm an owner of an Enzo and I want to sell it, I have to sell it back to Ferrari or go to Ferrari?
You can sell directly, but at a very premium price.
Wow.
So another car that is also of the same setting of selling is actually the LaFerrari.
Right.
Do you guys know that if you paint your Ferrari a different color, other than what is the signature color, you can be sued
Is it?
or you can be charged?
That's new for
like
me.
Ferrari.
Yes.
You can Google.
It's by the it's in the contract.
It's their terms.
Yeah. So when you buy a car, right? Usually, if you go to Toyota or Honda or even Proton, you sign the documents. Inside Ferrari's documents, they actually have a clause that protects their image of their cars. So recently there was I think it was a streamer or a YouTuber or something like that. He wrapped his car in a Nyan Cat.
Sticker.
Yeah, now a lot of cars they like to do wraps, right? So they wrap it in a Nyan Cat sort of like decal. That he actually got a letter from Ferrari to remove it. Otherwise they will impound the car.
Okay, guys. So how much was the McLaren?
$20 million.
20 million USD.
Yeah.
20 million USD, bro.
Wow.
20 million USD, and this one, the real car, there's only six in the world.
6 in the world.
Oh,
And
okay.
Eugene
So
owns one.
you guys are
One of the 180, bro. I mean, 6 of the actual car.
20 million USD is equal to close to 90 million ringgit.
Now,
Oh.
4.4.
5 to 10, yeah, close. Yeah, close to about 90 million
Yeah,
ringgit.
close to 90 million ringgit. Oh, goodness God.
Crazy.
Okay, so Eugene, the Enzo Ferrari in front of you,
Yep.
who makes that now for diecast?
Diecast, this is actually branded BBR. BBR is an Italian manufacturer, but a little known fact about BBR is when they first started selling models, they actually contracted Kyosho, a Japanese manufacturer, to produce it for them. So they did up all the drawings and whatnot, and then they asked Kyosho to produce because they don't have the mechanism or they don't have the facility for it. So this car is made by Kyosho, branded under BBR. It's one of their first edition releases. It's a full opening one. You can see the full engine bay. The tires can be removed. There's even you can open the doors as usual. There's even a small luggage, and it even comes with a car blanket. We wrap it around with a
Yeah, I saw the Ferrari logo. My goodness, it's so impressive.
So it's made extremely detailed, and it's highly sought after because nowadays BBR make resin diecast, which is not openable. They recently dabbled into opening ones again. I think there was one LaFerrari where they made the diecast model where it's finally openable. But this is highly desired because subsequently they did produce Enzos in other spec under BBR, but it's not the original Rosso Corsa red color, and it's also not fully openable. So this one here is when I first bought it. Fun fact was I don't know the condition of the car because it came sealed. The tape is all still sealed. So the seller told me that it is a brand new car, and it is unopened. So you are buying it unopened. So it feels like a premise of a scam, no? Because you never opened it. It's just like the original iPhones. Nowadays people had to go and X-ray it because now they cost like 20,000 US dollars in their original factory seal. Some people actually factory seal it themselves and they just put rocks inside.
So talking about iPhone, I have the actual iPhone, but it's used.
Yeah.
The iPhone 1 I do have.
Wow. Okay, that's a piece of history. It belongs in the museum now.
Yeah, correct.
The value will just keep going up. So that's a good purchase. So similar to this, when I received it, I was a bit nervous because the seller said he wouldn't open it. So I asked for photos of the seal one to make sure that all the tape is in place. So when and of course this model car is actually I think more than 15 years old. So the defects are to be expected. So when I opened it, of course, there's some paint rash on it. Paint rash bubbles that develop on the paint surface because it could be due to humidity, it could be due to heat, or it could be just black magic. I don't know, but it happens. So when I opened it, yes, it has some paint defects, but it's still very nice.
But as a collector, right? For me personally, I'm not sure about you. I don't really like resin.
Oh yes,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, it's very detailed.
Yep.
Of course, but you don't have the same feeling like those days with opening parts and stuff like that. The accuracy with the diecast that they do. So for me, you get this super highly detailed car, but the problem is you are not able to enjoy the mechanism of it.
Right. Yeah. Like the older F1 models where the engine covers are removable, you can see the engine detail.
Yes.
Fortunately, I feel we can still get away with it from F1 because F1 you don't really open the doors. There's no doors to open. But with road cars and sports cars, it is a bit of a pity that now they're all moving towards resin because resin is it's highly detailed. You can see all the grooves are not so rough around the edges. Like for example, the AMG one there is a resin. But unfortunately, you can't really see the inner workings of the car. You can't see the engine bay. It's just something different where if your scale model is to scale and you can open it and it works to how like a real car.
Yeah, if I compare this AMG and the Enzo, the AMG is flawless.
It is. It's flawless, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay, before we go there, the Enzo. Now, what's the street value now?
Street value. This one I have to Google. But as you said, they are also
Your diecast? Limited run also?
I believe it's not listed as limited run, but again, because these are no longer in production, so it's limited. Is limited now. Today they will cost anywhere between 2,000 or 2,000 ringgit, and but same goes to the Mclaren F1.
Ferrari Enzo price in Malaysia. Wow.
In Malaysia,
Yeah.
Does anyone own one in Malaysia?
I think so.
Sultan
There is a few. Yeah, Sultan Joe for sure. Maybe he got permission from Marilalo to paint it blue.
But there are also hidden. Like today, we learned that there are also hidden costs to owning a Ferrari. Like you need there's a sort of like a filter for you to get there. You need to first own these ones. So it's not that you have like the F1 GTI 20 million. You just
even if you have cash, you cannot buy an Enzo Ferrari. Bottoms down. Okay, because I have a friend in Bangkok who actually tried through the dealership. He bagged the dealership. He wanted to buy the car, and he said, "No, you have to own at least 3 models prior to giving you the access to this."
I got 3 models, bro. 499P, F2007.
I think you got 300 models, bro. 3 models.
No, so the current price of this car on the road is $3 to $4 million.
3 to 4 million.
Yeah, it's lesser than the McLaren, obviously, but
because it's newer. And also there's more.
And then there's more, yeah.
Yeah, but again, 2 to 3 million is just for that car. You first have to own like other cars. So
Yeah.
I think that wheels itself will cost the value of my...
Okay, so we've covered the McLaren, the Enzo Ferrari. Okay, let's move on to the right, and you see a blue car there. Maybe you can tell the fans on what the blue car is.
Sepo je kita ni kasi buat apa ni?
Actually, this car, I didn't tell the host what car I was bringing. I told them it was a surprise car. This looks like a very boxy car from your dad's era.
So you made me Google a lot.
Yeah. So a little fun fact about this car: it's not there's no technology borrowed from F1. It's just a car that was made by Renault, because Renault was in partnership with Williams in 1992. It was 1992, so they had a partnership.
Nigel Mansell.
Yeah, when Nigel Mansell won the World Championship. So Renault wanted to make a rally car. So in order to fulfill the criteria of a rally car, the car has to be a production car of at least 400 units. So Renault decided that they wanted to honor their partnership with Williams, and they made the car 400 cars called the Renault Clio. Renault Clio is very common. Everyone knows about Renault Clio.
Yeah.
But this edition is the Renault Clio Williams. So it's a tribute to Williams. They painted in the Williams blue color, blue and gold. So fun fact, Subaru didn't first start with the blue and gold. It was first Renault and Williams.
Oh.
Yeah, so this car came out with those colors way before Subaru came out with their slightly lighter blue, the iconic color.
Iconic color.
Right. So this one was made in limited edition 400. The first one that rolled out of the production factory was given to Frank Williams. Frank Williams is the founder of Williams F1 GP. He sadly passed away, and now his car is in a museum. And that example, the first one of the Renault Clio Williams, has done less than 3,500 miles.
I find it very interesting that you're able to find something that's so historical. How did you manage to know about the car?
I'm again fascinated with Formula One. Somehow it's an extension from my earlier collection. I collect dominant Formula One cars. MP44 McLaren in 1988. They all but won the championships. Then I realized when I looked up, when I read up their history, and they always have a road car attached to it somehow, either by technology transfer or by just the legacy of the car.
Yeah.
Because when dominant cars, when we watch, like for example last year when we were watching Max Verstappen just crush everybody.
So let me guess, your next diecast car will be the hybrid.
The next car, yes, will be the RB90. They crushed the field, and interestingly, Adrian Newey also built a
Hybrid, right?
a track car. Yeah,
hybrid.
it's actually not a hybrid. It's a V10 engine. Inspired from the 1990s, from his McLaren days. They are making a naturally aspirated one for the RB17. So it's quite funny that somehow the most dominant F1 cars will give rise to like an equivalent track car. I think people want to experience the
spec that he followed is actually WEC spec.
Oh,
So it's easy for him to
I see.
go to the racing series.
yeah, but he reckons that that RB17 would crush
Yeah, Formula One cars. Correct.
Formula One cars. Even they in the simulator, when they did simulation, Silverstone GP was just the past. They revealed the RB17. They said that they just put a normal track car driver. He's a professional, not professional. He's an amateur race driver. They put him into the simulator of the RB17, and within like the hour when he's setting lap times, his lap times beat Max Verstappen's RB20 Silverstone time.
Wow.
So yeah, Adrian Newey's idea is you can bring the F1 experience, you can feel the
Speed on the road.
on the track. Yeah, so any Tom, Dick and Harry can hop into the car and set record lap times like an F1.
So that car you cannot be drive on the road, is it?
It's not road legal. You can modify it, but Red Bull built it to be track specific.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a track specific car, and it has to be limited to 370 kilometers per hour on the straights, and 250 in the corners, because otherwise the tires will blow up from too much downforce.
Yeah.
Wow. So that car is now it was limited run, and how much is the car now? Out of in the market?
There's a funny story about
Can find
this car was built in the UK, so you can still buy it. You can still buy the actual car in the UK off a second-hand market. I recently checked eBay, and this car sells for about £10,000.
10,000. That car.
Yeah, this car sells for £10,000.
Oh.
£10,000 is a price of an amalgam. When we're talking about amalgam 1.8, our friend here will tell you how nice an amalgam 1.8 is. But if you go to the amalgam store to buy an F1 car that is 1.8, that is not even a real car, it's a 1.8 scale model, it also costs about £10,000. If you want a car that is linked to heritage, has very rich history in Formula One, and it's just a car you can show off and tell people that, hey, look, this car is practically a museum piece. But you can obtain it for £10,000. You can buy it for £10,000. But fun fact, 10 years ago, somebody written a blog, a Malaysian written a blog on it. This car was only on eBay, brand new, mint, for like a brand new car, mint, the owner maintained with full service history, for only £3,000.
Bloody shit.
So if 10 years ago, we bought this car
Like me.
together, it would have appreciated 3 to 4 times. So that shows you the pool of history, as people are, the sport is definitely getting more popular.
The car spec is the same, or just the color is different?
From
The Clio.
Yep.
The engine and everything, does it has an upgrade, or is just a normal car?
It's a normal car. The engine is built because this is a production car. So it's got a very standard stock Clio engine that's slightly tuned. So the rally version, of course, they only tune it up. But the road car 400 that they made, it's just basically to fulfill a requirement. So they just made it, and then after they gave a tribute with every car on the dashboard has a plate that says how many of how many, just like some of the cars here, right? Like for example, yours, it says limited edition. The Frank Williams one has a 0001 on it.
Right.
Yeah, so and it is a running number. So the one on eBay I saw was 238, if I'm not mistaken.
Can you explain to me what manufacturer is this? I mean, it's quite detailed. Looking at the interior, the gearbox, the knob, the steering wheel. I mean, it's quite impressive for this manufacturer. And which diecast manufacturer does this?
Diecast manufacturer that did this is a French manufacturer called Norrev. They do a lot of classic cars.
All right.
And recently they dabbled into Porsche as well. So I found them that they just so happened when I was looking it up, they released that. So I bought this on retail. It's about 100 euros, so it's less than 500 ringgit at that time, including shipping and all.
With the detail as good as Auto Art, I would say.
Yeah.
The mat and all that.
Yep. I would say it's pretty good. Yeah, inside you saw the
So it's worth it.
It's good. I'm actually secretly very 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 happy I still can find F1 related diecast that isn't they didn't goreng until So because nowadays collectors are so many, and then so the demand is high. So I mean, you still can find like this kind of examples where it's F1 related, yet it's still affordable.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, before we go to the car on the right, let's shift our attention to this car, the 499P. Puma, you want to touch on that?
499P, it has a kind of I would say long history. Ferrari made the decision to come back to Le Mans after 50 years.
After 50 years?
Wow. And then if you look at the car number, their car number is 50 and 51. So to celebrate the 50 years that they never attempted to race on a factory version, they had the factory version before. I mean, some Ferraris before, but those are collaboration.
I see.
Ferrari in Le Mans was collaboration. So it is not a full-fledged factory team. So what happened last year was Ferrari decided to go ahead with the WEC spec. This car has a V6 120 degrees angle engine with the hybrid of 268 kilowatts. So that gives you around 250 horsepower, and then the combination of maybe 600 plus altogether. So the reason I bought that car is, of course, first thing first, after 50 years, you attempt first race and then you win it. So that is something that caught my eye. So despite not winning any races elsewhere, only Le Mans they have won so far. This car has a very good aerodynamic efficiency. If you look at the car, it's definitely ugly, but streamlined to suit Lasat Le Mans track. And then they didn't have any reliability problems at all. First year in the series, and then no reliability problem. The drivers were basically ex-Formula 1 driver, which were abandoned. Can you guys recall who was that?
The most recent one, Antonio Giovinazzi.
Yeah, Giovinazzi, Guidi, and then James Calado was the driver.
Were they F1 drivers as well?
They were test drivers.
Test drivers.
So basically, they all have experience in Formula 1. This car is basically a Formula 1 enclosed car. With such a precise engineering that it has to last 24 hours. Formula One version that can replicate into a series of you can use the same parts like for 6 races for 6 hours, 24 hours, 8 hours, and your car will still be running. I mean, Le Mans is another series that I really highly regard because of their innovation. People tend to say that Toyota dominated the series for 5 years. Yes, some of the years they didn't have any competition at all. So when they changed to hypercar, they lost their originality. They didn't had the car that they supposed to had during the hybrid P1 prototype version.
Yes.
Yeah. So when hypercar came, they really suits kind of a European market.
Yep.
And also to get more people from America to join in, like Cadillac,
Right.
or Jota team from UK,
Yep.
Porsche. So more and more teams are interested in the current regulation. So they competed against this car. So another reason for me to highlight is because this Ferrari competed against Toyota, Porsche, I would say Cadillac,
Yeah.
and some of the privateers as well.
Right.
So it came out on top, which really 2 years in a row, which if you could ask me, a simple factory team coming after 50 years cannot achieve that. It's difficult. But with the hybrid technology and also understanding that they have in Formula One, they replicate in Le Mans. There you go. They have the best efficiency, the best battery pack, the best engine reliability, one of the best drivers as well. 3 of them managed to win 2 years in a row. So that is why I bought this car.
Why don't you sell that and buy an amalgam version of that?
Bro, but it's, for me, if you ask me, that would I go, it's a premium version.
Yeah, that's a premium version. It's actually quite detailed.
Yeah. Aesthetically looks good.
Okay.
So you don't have to go for amalgam.
So before we finish our first segment, let's touch on the Silver Arrow on your right.
Yep. So that's a AMG one. I think it was in development since 2016. They first started developing during the Lewis Hamilton, Nico Rosberg era, and the car drivetrain engine is borrowed from the W07, which is the championship winning car from Nico Rosberg. And Nico Rosberg and both Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg owns one today. They actually placed the order way back then.
Way back then.
No, they don't know what the car looks like
Right.
until recently. I think last year when they unveiled the car, showed it off to the world. But most of the technology is borrowed by then. Even Nico Rosberg said when he started the car, it brings back memories because it reminds him of his F1 racing days. So technology again borrowed from Formula One. Livery of the car also borrowed from Formula One.
The essence of Petronas is there.
Yeah, the essence of Petronas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Petronas actually has a rich heritage in and history in motorsport and Formula One, and it's also their partnership is also highlighted here.
So if I ask you a question, the Ferrari hypercar,
Yep.
this is considered hypercar as well, right?
Hypercar, I guess so, but it's not built to the spec of the endurance WEC, right?
All right. But what's the performance wise if you compare with the hypercar?
I would think that if let's say the hypercar is a more track specific build, because the AMG one is a road legal car.
Yeah, but if I'm not wrong, they had also road version for that, right?
For the phone, is that?
9NP, yeah. Is it? No? Or is it customer racing, I think?
I think it's custom.
Customer racing,
Yes,
right?
customers are able to buy the 499p to race on track.
Right.
But it's not road legal. This is a road legal version. So I think if you were to put it on Le Mans, especially on Le Mans, the 499p will just beat it.
I imagine you put 499p,
Yeah.
this Mercedes AMG,
Yeah.
and RB70.
I think honestly, I think RB70 will just crush the field. It'll
Yeah, I mean,
fly away so
But
fast.
they have to follow the spec.
Yeah. Because the RB17 is built inspired from the BEC, but they don't follow the rules about the BEC.
I just can't wait to see that V10 engine.
I want to hear
Feel
that.
that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because he said that the exhaust setup, right? He but he drew inspiration from his McLaren days. So the cars of Mclaren,
2005, if I'm not wrong.
earlier than that,
Earlier than
the
that.
V10s.
V10.
Yeah, not the V8s, the V10s.
I think 2005 was V10.
Okay.
Last of his
Yes.
innovation.
Yes. So I think you might be right, but yeah, it's that era, and they follow the same setup so that it sounds similar. So he said that when he heard the engine, he was like, that's the note that he's looking for. The high pitch, the high pitch when you scream down the straight.
Vibration, I mean,
Yes, that's the one. I think it's the one the sound clip that you used for earlier for paddock show. That's the one.
yeah, I mean,
Correct.
then another reason to highlight that even BMW is coming up. I mean, already had hypercar. Valkyrie is coming in as well. So it will be interesting to see if Mercedes is gonna join the party. You know.
Oh yeah, one more fun fact about the 499P, right? If I'm not mistaken, the 499P was, I mean, they decided to do a hypercar series because of the budget cap in Formula One. Because they have so many people, they got access personnel, they don't want to fire them. So they're like, oh, let's just try.
Yeah.
And it helps because endurance racing is, they need the parts to last. And it speaks volumes of the current F1 reliability that you can transfer the technology to hypercar.
Yep.
I can last 34 hours, and you can last multiple races on top of that. Yeah,
That's why I say it's amazing how they can use the same car throughout the season, running 6 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, Sebring, Daytona.
I think my car ran 8 hours as a boya already.
Another car I forgot to bring. It was Acura.
Acura.
That's it.
Acura DPI.
VPI.
It's the same spec as hypercar as well.
So you guys, you see, these two chaps here, they are not only F1 collectors, but they are also road car collectors in diecast.
We love cars,
Yeah.
The love for the car.
So maybe you can tell the fans, how do you find these exclusive rare pieces that is relevant to F1? Some sources maybe, some tips.
Can you give or cannot?
Can. Well, actually, as what we do, if you're really passionate about something, you end up going down the rabbit hole. You will first search for the F1 car, then after that you will search for its history, and then from the history you'll be like, oh, this car actually is from there. Then it just goes on and on and on, and somehow it ends up with that. So there is a bit of a link for my cars that I purchased here to that links back to my original collection. So that's how. You just fill your time with that sort of.
Waiting for my extra one every day.
Because I always find that Eugene always picks up very good deals, as well as Kumar. You two really, you guys buy prices that's not even available in the market. Okay, cars that are worth 1,000, 2,000, you grab it for 700, for instance.
Yeah, I think what's important in collecting is that you don't blow everything in one go.
Yeah.
Patience and a bit of I think the most important skill that or rather the most important trait that I would like to share with diecast collectors is the ability to sit on your hands, to not jump on the first car that you see to buy, and in fact you do a bit of research. I feel that the fun of owning a car is not just when owning it, it's actually the thrill of the chase. So when you're looking for the car, you do a lot of homework on it, then you find the people that are selling it, then once you strike a good deal, it's just
You have something to talk about it as well.
yeah, that's why I'm here, right? Yeah, exactly.
Every car has its own story.
Yeah.
That's what we look into. I mean, of course, if you look at the current diecast market in Malaysia, they are more into 164s.
Oh yes.
Then the retail price, the retail price is actually reasonable. The moment it goes to resellers, it's out of hands.
Right.
Even 164 could go up to 1,000.
Yeah, but I think 164 is just too small.
For me, it doesn't buy lah. I mean, even though if it's a limited edition, I won't get 164 because it doesn't have that feeling that we can see with 180s and
Kumar, we were in the Diecast Expo, right?
Yeah.
But 99% of the cars were on 164s.
I think 164 they are good with Malaysian market for a couple of reasons. I mean, I started selecting Hot Wheels. I think that's how we all start.
I exactly agree with
Hot
you.
Wheels, right?
Yeah.
So once you get Hot Wheels and Matchbox, I actually started by customizing Hot Wheels because I feel like the headlamps not painted, the door seal, the details are no good.
Wheels.
Yeah, so from there they naturally gravitate towards, like, for me at that time there weren't these resin 164s, right? So I moved down to 118s because of the high level of detail. 164 I think is suitable for Malaysian markets because of the price point, the entry point, and also storage space. Not everybody has a warehouse like to store.
He's got a man cave.
I just saw an Enzo there. You see an Enzo there?
Oh yeah, oh nice. But yeah, so I think space wise is a consideration. I myself I don't display all my cars out as well.
You can't display all your cars. I just put in the boxes.
Yeah. So
if you feel you want to have a moment with your car, you just go to the room and open.
This is why I always ask them to bring something over for the shows. So they take like 1,000 over pictures because they say this is the only time that I see my car up close and personal.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's when they get a bit of sunlight and they can breathe.
All right, guys. So we'll come back and we've got some really interesting news and coverage about Formula One during the midterm season. All right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be right back. Hi guys, welcome back. So half an hour long about diecast, guys. Yes. So we have to come back to business now.
Bro, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars for half an hour. Imagine you go Eugene's house and then you need to come for the whole week.
We go to Kumar's house, we don't come up for a year. One whole season only. My goodness, I can imagine how many boxes there is in your
It's a mess, bro. Right?
nuts both for you. God. And also the value. So before that, you guys will know any insurance companies that can actually can salvage these guys? Please save us. I am very afraid.
I did.
Or any human disasters.
It's not a bad idea.
Touch it.
Oh, please. So now we are in summer break for Formula One.
Yep.
Okay, so last race was in Spa.
The last race was Spa.
Spa, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, damn. Short-term memory loss.
Seems so long ago.
Yeah, man.
So let's recap. Okay, this is the most interesting season since I followed F1 since 1997. Okay, we had 14 rounds.
Yes,
Yeah.
14 rounds.
And we have 7 winners.
That's the most in recent times as well,
Correct.
right? Even the 20, I think it was what?
2012.
2012, right? How many winners?
7 different winners.
7 or so are different winners. But this one, 7 different winners in the first 14 races. That's amazing.
So we have the last 10 races, and I think it's going to be fantastic. I think the development over summer break, I think, been very secretive because they have not released any information that much. And when they keep the ground running in the Dutch Grand Prix, it's really out there for everyone's taking.
But if it's under summer break, right? The key rule given by FIA is you cannot touch the car at all.
Yeah, it's a
Even develop
factory shutdown, yeah.
factory is shut down.
Can't you even develop any
No, nothing.
You can't even turn on your
In
computer.
the office,
So the machine can't even run.
Machine can't run, your CFD system
everything off.
CFD also
cannot run.
It's switched off.
Yeah, simulators also cannot run.
Yeah.
So everything shut down, so everybody's on
See,
break.
whatever transpired in Belgium is what correlates in
Zandvoort.
in Holland.
Yes.
So that is a similarity performance that you will get from all of the teams. I remember I've told you guys that Mercedes is back, even before they started meeting. Hungarian GP was a proof.
Yeah.
You recap what you told Eugene during the break. You're gonna buy a car, right? And whose car is that?
I think I'm going to go ahead with Lewis's British GP win because it is more pure performance, if you ask me. And the fight with Max in the closing stages was just, for me it's heartbreaking because the lapse time is going down, and then the moment Max is chasing him, he's going to win it. And then the way he drove the car, the tires that he saved brilliantly, he's known for the goodness in managing those tires. Soft tires, bro. He was on soft and Max was on mediums, A lot of difference. Some of the drivers were not even be able to do the lap times that Hamilton was doing in a soft tire.
That's true.
That was quite impressive. So another prediction of mine is basically he's not going to win any races in Ferrari. That's one prediction.
That's your prediction.
That's my prediction. So that's the reason I'm going to get this year's car.
Oh, let's take a step back. Okay, we've completed 14 races this season. So brutal. So this is season 75 in Formula One. Okay, let's break down team by team. Okay, let's start with the top team, which is Red Bull. And how do you guys think Red Bull did?
Okay, the first few races, of course, they were still on ahead of the field. The reason is because the aero package was still more efficient. Of course, there are some changes made along the way, FIA rules and regulation, and the significant topple that you can see is by McLaren.
Mm.
So if you guys know, last year Bob Marshall already went to McLaren, and inevitably he has brought all the secrets to Red Bull. If you look at McLaren's car and Red Bull's car, yes, in a way it looks different, but the platform is similar.
Yeah, what you can't see is like the inside of the cover,
Correct.
the chassis, the engine layout,
Yes.
the suspension.
Bob Marshall is a right hand man of Newey in this current hybrid era. I mean the ground effect era. So Red Bull actually need to squeeze out every inch of performance in the second half of the season. They have to like play defend or win, because if not, Max have to be in the podium or top 5 the next 10 races. The car is not capable of winning in a big margin anymore. Unless
My biggest question for this season is, where is Checo? It's like, 8, 9, 10
actually Haris,
Max.
if you ask me, right, that is the actual performance of the car.
I agree.
If you ask me,
Actual performance.
correct. Because if you compare to the
This,
previous,
what Red Bull is doing is a Max factor.
correct. You ask me, that car is basically Max is driving hell out of it.
I agree.
The reason I'm saying this is because if you look at Max's past teammates, except for Ricciardo in 2018, they are consistently 6 to 8 tenths away from Max. Even Gasly, even Albon, even if you ask me, currently Checo as well. So they are consistently 6 to 8 tenths away from his pure performance, Max's pure performance. So what you see in the car at the moment is Max who is driving the car to that edge. Otherwise, that Red Bull is nothing.
Then why did Marco sign Granny Checo for another 2 years?
This is all monetary, bro. And then Max needs some comfortability in the team. You cannot fight Max. That's why Sainz didn't go ahead to join Red Bull. You cannot go against Max. Max is the okay. Like Ferrari had golden child Michael. Like Mercedes had the golden child Lewis.
Yes.
So Red Bull has its own golden child.
20 is actually not molded around Max, is it?
It is molded around Max. Their main problem is the suspension. Mercedes got ahead in the technology of suspension. That's why you can see it's leaping ahead of McLaren and Red Bull now. Even Ferrari is nowhere ready. I don't know where Ferrari is now.
Before we jump into Mercedes,
Correct.
okay, what do you guys see in Poland for Red Bull?
For me, the close fight will be between Lewis, Max, Norris, Piastri will be there. Ferrari there and thereabout, maybe top 6 or top 8. But Red Bull will be in the podium, at least in the podium.
Yeah.
The winner, I will still go ahead with Mercedes. Which one, I don't know.
Yep.
But Mercedes suspension has a top-notch technology now. The bulge that you see at the front of the car is a very magic touch.
Yeah, to Kumar's point, I think he's right. I think we can all agree that Red Bull is no longer the fastest car.
Yep.
And to his point also, I think when up until the first 4 races, I think China, we thought that Red Bull is going to run away. I personally felt that it's over. I told
Another purchase.
I told Kumar it's over, bro. But I'm very happy to be wrong. But it's just that I think we can all see that McLaren, Mercedes, and Red Bull are very close. They are near to the top. They're always fighting for first place. And the reason why Red Bull is only near the top is, again, the max factor. The reason why RB19 was so dominant the way it was because I think in the paddock everybody agrees that Max has about 2 to 3 tenths in his pocket compared to any other driver. So he took an already dominant car into a different level. Yeah, into a different level. So it was supposed to be maybe 1/10 faster. It's like slightly ahead of everybody else. Again, a famous saying when Michael Schumacher was dominating was the actual car performance. You look at Rubens Barrichello.
Yeah.
So that's the actual car performance. But he's able to ring out, like, you don't have to build it to him, but using his feedback, you can push the car slightly faster. So, but we can now agree that Red Bull is now easily the usually second or third fastest car on the weekend. So Max is able to keep the car in contention. That's why he's the only one fighting 2 Mercedes, 2 McLarens. So I think we can expect the same. It's a one-handed fight for Red Bull versus.
Let's move to Woking. McLaren. Big surprise over the last few races.
I would.
That's it.
I think it's I would rather say it's big letdown because they've easily had the fastest car the last 3 to 5 races. But how many wins have they had? How
They
many?
had 2 only.
Two wins. Yeah, in the last 3 to 5 races they had the fastest car, but they only had 2 wins. Norris won, Piastri won. But Mercedes not having the fastest car in the last 3 to 5 races, how many have they won?
They've already won 3.
They won 3. So like that shows again to my last point, McLaren are not battle hardened. McLaren are not the sharpest knife in the.
No, bro, they're busy digging hole in Red Bull's garage. Zach Brown, every time, the moment you open the F1 official website or any Instagram social media site, Zach Brown.
Did you see? Zach Brown challenged Toto Wolff and Christian Horner to a team boss race.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Mentah-mentah dia dulu racer, dia belagak lah.
All 3 are races, right?
Yeah.
All 3 are races.
So Zach Brown issued a challenge today. So like nothing better to do.
Same
That guy, I tell you.
car, then you can see their skill, shine and hone.
Yeah, but I feel McLaren, back to McLaren kan, they should back Lando a bit more. I think they also are afraid to offend Oscar because Oscar is up and coming. But because of their strategy, of their hesitation, they should really have won. It feels like they should have really won more races than they have.
Order in McLaren, or is it there is a very clear cut 1, 2?
No, they treat both as number 1. There's no 1 or 2. There's just 1A, 1B.
I disagree with that.
Okay, why?
Okay, McLaren, so far the season, okay, they progress very well.
Yep. Development is top notch.
Development, the car is ahead of Red Bull, ahead of Ferrari, ahead of, I would say, the midfield teams that they were battling in before. Of course, the magic is from what we have seen, developing a structure, management. Your management team, your foundation must be strong in order for you to perform well. So what McLaren and Andres Stella and Zach Brown did was gathering all the right people from various teams, offering them good money, and then of course join McLaren. Who doesn't want to join McLaren? It's an iconic team with so much of controversy to.
Apparently Adrian Newey doesn't want to join McLaren.
Yeah, that's out of the picture already.
Yeah.
So we'll come to that.
Yeah.
So what I see McLaren season now, they could have, like you said, they could have won 5 races, bro. Easily.
Yep.
Execution wrong.
Yeah.
Driver too stubborn. Trying to work around pit stop strategy went wrong in Hungary.
Yep.
I mean, this kind of small things are hindering their chances to win.
Yep.
So the second half of the season, they have to ponder what better they can do from that particular angle. If you asking me, I mean, you were asking him just now, right, Harris, that is it equal in McLaren at the moment? At the moment, yes.
Correct.
When it comes to the second half of the season, PS3 will be pushed down. Because why? Lando Norris is second in the championship.
Yep.
And you already see the little bit of
Friction,
friction in the team in Hungary itself. When Lando refuses to let go. Actually, Lando could have just let him go and then catch him and then pass and win the race.
Yeah.
Again, execution.
Yeah. I feel that is mostly the side of the team that is messing up.
Correct.
Yeah, and like you said, because if they could have very easily avoided that situation. They could have just told Lando, look, we're pitting you first. We're covering this. You come out. You will give the place back.
This was a screw. In Belgium.
In
Hungary.
Hungary.
Yeah, because otherwise, but instead they came out and then the race agent told when you feel like it, return the place.
I know the drama. You see the drama that.
What if he doesn't feel like it?
Yeah. So when you see all this drama and then radio messages as such, what are you portraying to the fans?
Yeah.
You are giving negative image to the fans, and then allowing the fans to give them a chance to bash up in the social media. So these are the kind of things that you need to look at as well. I mean, social media put aside. So going into the progression of McLaren, yes, they can be a title contender for constructors. But if Max try to stay in the podium or top 5, he will still win the championship.
Yep.
Okay, unless like Zach Brown say he need few DNFs to catch him up. I don't know why he asking for DNFs when you know your car is so strong, you can beat him. No need DNF, Zach Brown.
Done.
Okay.
Apart
from that, another update is that when you want a team player, like Oscar is a very fast driver actually.
Fast driver, level-headed.
So, and the manager is Mark Webber.
Yeah.
If you do this kind of screw-ups, Mark Webber will be looking elsewhere. Definitely.
Yeah.
to see whether Oscar suits for McLaren or not. McLaren has a history of playing second fiddle
Yeah.
most of the time.
And also, Mark has had experience as an F1 driver being second fiddle.
Yes,
He knows how it looks like. If he sees that is not favoring his driver, he's not gonna let his driver sit there and go like, oh, not bad for us, number 2 driver, right? That won't happen.
Again.
Yeah.
Waste time.
Yeah.
Okay, so from Woking, we move on to Prix.
Mercedes again impressed me a lot this year. Yeah,
I mean,
to be honest,
yeah.
their front wing changed. Once they changed the front wing flow, that's it.
Who's the biggest
And the suspension.
driver that impresses you most? Is it George or is it Lewis?
For me, I think George has stepped up. He has stepped up, but he's not my favorite driver. I mean, so my opinions are slightly biased towards Lewis Hamilton. I'll preface with that first. But that said, I feel that both drivers have been working well together despite the news of Lewis Hamilton leaving. They've both been able to develop the car in a good direction, and I think they still show that they are such a polished machine, like both the team and also the car. So once they sorted out the car, you can see how effective their strategy is. If you just compare the radio messages in Hungary between Britain between Mercedes, Red Bull, and McLaren, then you can see the big difference of experience. McLaren, they were negotiating with Lando Norris. Verstappen box for hards. We have mediums to cover him. Lewis box for softs. We also have softs to cover him. Which one do you want? Then that guy is driving at 350 kilometers per hour. You can't expect him to think, maybe soft better or maybe medium better. According to my calculation, no time, bro. He's really negotiating. Exactly. Why are you negotiating with him? But if you look at the radio messages of Red Bull and Mercedes, it's clear cut. We have softs. We are boxing for softs. Then Lewis just goes like, my tires are gone in 2 laps. Okay, box now. You come in, no negotiation, done, execution. Verstappen is the same. They're like, we have softs, we have hards. We believe hards is the better one. Let's go for hards. Box comes out, Lewis is on softs. Whatever. He goes on with his plan. McLaren are still over there, and maybe tomorrow we have nasi lemak in the morning. Tak boleh lah. So like, I think...
that's why I say, Zach Brown need to concentrate on his team instead of, taking coal in McLaren.
Sheer speed, right? Is Lewis or George faster?
Over the race distance, I believe Lewis Hamilton, his racecraft, tire management, and experience wins out. Over 1 lap, George is equal or better, I feel. Because if you notice in qualifying, he's Mr. Saturday for a reason. He has the speed. He definitely has the speed. It's just that I think he's lacking maybe a bit of experience. And I don't know if it's to do with experience that he lost the race because he was lacking 1.5 kilo. If it was Lewis, maybe he kencing dalam kereta already got 1.5 kilos.
First thing first, for me, say this. Actually, they were not in favor of Lewis during the start of the season.
Yeah.
When he started complaining, there is where he was getting all the good parts. When he started complaining, now you see the fruitful of it.
Yeah.
He already won 2 races.
Yeah, he publicly came out and said that he won't beat George in qualifying ever. That was the time, right?
Yeah, and then also, of course, the new parts that were handed over to George instead of
Monaco, yeah.
Lewis. So there was a lot of high tension there. Lewis Hamilton accusing indirectly to Mercedes that they are in favor of George. So when things got heated, and then that Kimi Antonelli was not ready at that point of time, doing tests and stuff like that, trying to get the mileage to ensure he has the license given for next year. So considering that particular scenarios, right, Toto Wolff, for me, I think he was doing some research. Can we try to retain Hamilton or not? He's already signed for Ferrari, but you can always break the contract. Simple as that. You can always break the contract. There will be a clause there. So, by giving him a good car and winning chances, he might change his mind. But instead, he already put stern that it's okay, we are winning, it's a good thing, but I'm already signed for Ferrari. Then you see the news of Kimi Antonelli going closer of signing the contract for Mercedes.
Has it been confirmed?
It's going to be confirmed soon.
Soon now, okay.
Yeah. So why I'm saying all this is because performance-wise, strategy-wise, Bono and Lewis are very good.
Yeah, 10 years together.
10 years together.
Yeah.
More than that, 30 years. Wow. So if you tell me George, yes, he was ahead of him during the first half of the season because he was getting good parts. So these are the things that people don't see. Sometimes teams do play politics internally. It happened in McLaren, it happened in Ferrari, it happened everywhere. So when it started happening to Lewis, he was uncomfortable. He voiced out, and people start noticing. Then Mercedes had no choice, have to give him the same part as George. So when the race in Hungary, I think Justin had a problem, right, with the power unit.
Yes.
Hungary, when Lewis won. How suddenly?
Water pump issue.
Why suddenly?
Hungary.
Silverstone.
Silverstone, is it? Sorry, Silverstone.
Silverstone. Yeah.
Why suddenly? Water pump issue.
And he had the pole position.
And he had the pace to win.
Yes.
George had the pace to win.
He had the pace, but he was already behind Hamilton at that point. Remember when it was interchangeable conditions?
Correct. And then George was complaining why he was behind him. That point of time. How come suddenly I'm behind him?
He lost the car. He lost the car.
Yeah. So after that comes to Hungary. He won again.
Yeah.
Lewis did a great job by controlling the race throughout. And then Spa, suddenly.
Hungary was McLaren.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
PS3, right?
Yeah, PS3.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Belgium. Sorry, guys. Haven't slept well for the past 2 weeks.
All of a sudden, win.
So Belgium was Lewis again, right?
Yeah.
He won the race. But, okay. Who had the similar strategy as Lewis? I ask you guys.
Will be the cars behind PS3 and Norris, right? And Max
Stroll. Stroll had the same strategy. Sorry, not Lewis. Russell.
Alonso.
Alonso and Stroll.
Alonso.
Alonso had the same strategy as Russell. One stop only. Why his car is able to be under the weight limit regulation,
Right.
and not Russell? Right. So there was something boiling there. They tried to manipulate the rules for Spa, Belgium to get Russell the win that they lost in British GP. But that didn't happen. Again, Lewis was on the right place at the right time. He won the race. And Lewis was not happy,
Yeah, it was. It wasn't.
The podium celebration.
Yeah, because he thought that he was being sabotaged by his team, or maybe he received the unfavorable strategy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So these are the things that you need to see when Hamilton openly criticizing Mercedes now, because he's leaving.
Yeah.
So for me,
Yes.
Mercedes,
There's nothing to lose.
correct. Mercedes second half, you're gonna be a very big trouble for McLaren and Red Bull. Super big trouble.
I agree.
Coming to Monza, coming to Singapore GP, Azerbaijan, they are all good circuits that suits Lewis Hamilton. So let's just wait and watch. Maybe constructors will be another good fight.
Yeah.
You have another 250 points available.
Yes.
Finally, big man says Mercedes has got a winning chance.
They already got ahead, bro, of Red Bull. Definitely.
Okay. So you go by agreement that Mercedes is gonna capture the few race wins.
Correct.
Yeah.
More.
That's 10 races.
They didn't win 8 constructors in a row for nothing. There's definitely something that clicks, and now that they have a car to deliver,
Correct.
their team is already in place. Even though, like, I think a couple of months ago, it seemed very bad because so many people were leaving Mercedes. I think Loic Serra and Jerome D'Ambrosio left to Ferrari. At that point, Ferrari was on the up, and everyone's saying that by the end of this year, it will just be Toto and George in the team. Running the team because everybody was leaving. But look where they are now. So
Don't underestimate.
yeah, exactly. So
Okay, let's go to Maranello.
Ferrari has been an interesting one. We saw Ferrari rise. We were singing the praises of Fred Vasseur. Remember, everybody was a Ferrari fan at one podcast. It seemed like he was doing the right things. He was about to sign Adrian Newey. He managed to capture Lewis Hamilton.
Now it's like a role reversal. It's like, my goodness, they're like rock bottom now.
Right, exactly right. And this shows how fast Formula One evolves, and it can change because and it's not like they lose. They are down by a second. They are off by maybe 2 or 3 tenths. So that's how close Formula One is, and that makes it really exciting. That's why we have 7 different winners. But Ferrari now, the first day, I think the rumors out is that Newey has been rejected by Ferrari. Not that Newey rejected Ferrari. It's more like Ferrari will not give him the salary he wants and will not cannot. I don't think
Lewis Hamilton.
I don't think it's because they cannot afford. I think Ferrari.
Bro, they already They already used their whole budget on Lewis.
But I think it's more of politics, to be honest. Because you can't have someone with so much power and commanding such a big salary come in. It's going to upset the power dynamic with Maranello.
The best two big guns in Formula One in one race team.
Yeah. So, you can do that, I guess, but Ferrari's politics stand in the way. Even
I think Ferrari is still poisonous, lah. A bit of toxic.
Still, they want some influence from the Italians.
Yeah.
They still don't want too much nationalities to come into the
Unfortunately, yeah. And Newey doesn't want to stay in Italy. They can't stand the fact of an outside consultant commanding more salary. I mean, like if you're working in a company also, somebody who is like based overseas.
But Ronnie Bryan was doing that for Ferrari.
Yeah.
Why didn't they look into that angle?
I think things have changed since then. Michael, I mean, there's no one big driver that if there was a Max Verstappen calling it, then maybe there would. But Hamilton, I don't think he will pull his weight for Adrian Newey that much. So anyway, today Ferrari has somehow managed to again. Development has been their biggest pain, and I think there's something that Fred hasn't been able to solve yet. Today they managed to devolve their car because they actually brought a lot of downforce to the car, which is good, right? But the problem was it cost out a lot of porpoising again. What happens when a car porpoises is there's too much downforce, the car bottoms out, and you lose the downforce.
Yep.
So when you lose the downforce when you're in the corner, imagine tiba-tiba your car don't have the suction. So they will have to deal with that kind of inconsistent delivery of downforce within the car. So they have gone backwards. For I think one of the races they even had to roll back to their Imola spec.
Ferrari is facing an aero
development problem. I think it has been plaguing the team since Sebastian Vettel days. Even 2022 they had the fastest car. They were challenging Red Bull. After TD again, development issues again. The same problem. So I think we'll
overcome this in the balance of the season.
You know how they'll overcome this? Lewis Hamilton. He will be the one giving feedback.
Today
I am
today.
I am still in denial, right? Because for the very long time that
who are you?
Know this guy in red, right? He is always an anti-Lulu fan. But for some reason, this season, you are supporting this
I'm
guy.
not supporting him. I'm supporting his efforts.
He's acknowledging his talents. You give credit where credit is due.
Exactly. You know why I said that?
Yeah.
Leclerc is not a good development driver. Simple, clear cut. Science had the opportunity to develop the car, but then they throw him out.
Yeah, those two boys can't develop a car, I think.
If you remember, Science was doing all the job second half of the season in last year, and Leclerc was nowhere.
But Leclerc claims that the first half of this season he's been doing all the
testing. Sure. Frank Lawson.
For me, Leclerc is a waste.
About the drivers lineup again, because I think both drivers cannot develop the car. That means they are in trouble for the next 3 seasons, right?
Yeah.
If Lewis fails to develop, I think they're in trouble.
I think they're in. It's still a grassroots problem within Maranello because in the last few years when Sebastian Vettel was in the team, Sebastian Vettel is one of the most meticulous drivers there is. He spends the longest time. He takes after Michael Schumacher. He spends the longest time with the engineers. His debriefs are legendary. People debrief 1 hour, 2 hours. His debrief lasts all the way to the night one. People have dinner and he's still debriefing.
There was one season that he came very close to the championship. What?
17 and 18.
Yeah, 17, 18. And it was the same problems in Ferrari. They couldn't keep up with Mercedes development throughout the year.
And also Vettel clicker errors a lot.
Yeah,
so was from him as well.
Yeah, so
he also lost touch, kind of losing touch from there.
Was Charles signing of a multi-year deal a big mistake by Ferrari?
I don't think it's a mistake, but unfortunately, I think Leclerc isn't turning out the driver that they hope that he can bring. He's fast, yes, he's very fast, but he's not. Maybe he isn't able to point the engineers in the right direction.
What do you guys think about Lewis and Charles' partnership next season?
Like Kumar said, the experience will be welcome.
Good for Leclerc to learn from him.
Yeah.
Okay, if he's taking charge of the team later during in future seasons, then it's a good thing for Leclerc to learn from Lewis Hamilton.
Yep.
Because he knows stability is important, how the car need to perform based on your feelings, and also not just going every direction. Ferrari was going everywhere, like you said. From floor to aero front wing to side pods. They were going everywhere. They were mimicking other teams but it was not reflecting into the performance of the car. So you can copy, like I said before, many times. You can copy, but how you execute is totally different.
Yeah.
So Ferrari is having the same problem again. So if Mercedes can change after being a midfield team for so long, to a race winner for this season,
Yep.
and Lewis is part of it, I think I don't see any reason Lewis not doing the same in Ferrari.
Yep. One interesting point I find that is I think it's not only to do with the drivers, it's also to do with the team, because what we discovered was earlier on when Adrian Newey was in Red Bull, his focus was not on aero. He actually was doing the rear chassis. His focus on the rear chassis, and that was for a good reason, because this technical regulation needs a harmony between your rear chassis and your aero department to work close together. Recently, James Allison from Mercedes said that they hit a breakthrough, and you realize that Mercedes became faster. It wasn't because of one update they bring, like McLaren, then all of a sudden they became faster. It was a realization of their working process. He said that last time when they were dominating for 8 years, they work differently from how they work today. So today they realized that the suspension department and the aero department has to work very closely together. They almost have to be one unit, because previously they worked separately. They don't really care about how the aero affects the suspension or the suspension.
It's more on aero, right?
Yeah, so it's mostly on aero and their overpowered engine.
Yeah.
So now James Allison restructured the how they built the car, and they realized that the rear suspension and the aero is what's important to make the car tick. So they understand that flow better, and I think Ferrari has to reach to that point also. Their team, the people that they hired, the people that they bring in, the new chassis director from Mercedes, maybe you can point them in the right direction. So if they can get that right, then the drivers will be able to feedback, and they can get more better results when they develop the car.
Will they have enough time to catch up for the rest of the season, or is it just
I think for next year,
2024 is that it?
24, I think they can put aside, except for Monza. Monza, they will bring Monza in Singapore. They will bring an updated package as usual every year. It's a must.
New livery.
New livery, and then powerful engine. Is a must for Monza. Monza, maybe they will fight for wins because there's less corners, less degradation.
At the very least, pole, right?
Correct. At least,
Safe face.
correct. So Ferrari, I think, will be either fourth right now at the moment.
Yeah,
They will stay in fourth position.
You say that a chance for podium, is it really?
He's there.
Yeah.
Podium. Williams will always be there, right? Because you don't know what's gonna happen between Max and Norris. You don't know what's gonna happen between Max and Hamilton. You don't know what's gonna happen between Max and George. You don't know what's gonna happen between Max and PS3. You know why I say Max only? Because he's the only one fighting for all of them.
Unfortunately, I feel Ferrari. We have to go back to the thing that we have seen the past few years. Next year, lah. Next year.
So you just let go of 2024, focus on 2025.
Yeah, like a similar scenario that Aston is facing.
Yes, agree.
They are reverting back to old specs.
Okay. All right. So let's do it in 2 sentences. I'll mention the team in 2 sentences. Just say what you think of the rest of the season for these teams. Aston Martin, Eugene.
Aston, in 2 sentences, fix their aero, and also fix their aero, and I think that's mostly it. I think they're falling backwards because of their development. Fix the aero.
Aston is getting ready for 26. Simple.
Eugene?
Haas are the surprise package. They've been doing very well. They were clever in their expectation. They just said we are going to finish 10, and now they're what, 6? Nico Hülkenberg has been doing very well.
Driver makes the difference. Yep. Hülkenberg is making the difference.
Alpine,
I feel like they're in shambles. Currently, there's no direction of their future. We don't know if the engine is continuing. Development this year has been up and down. Sometimes they are challenging for top 10. Sometimes they are just at the back doing nothing. So I think they're in a mess.
For me, it's heavy car, childish drivers. Simple.
Nice one, yeah. Ocon and Gasly both of them.
Ocon can tap already lah. You can go some other series lah.
No, he's going to Haas, bro.
Oh shit! Oh my god! What happened?
Seriously? Yeah, he's going to Haas. He's signed to Haas with Batman.
Steak Sauber.
Next.
Next.
Steak Sauber development.
Yeah.
Still in the development phases. Audi, despite, this one I'll touch a bit more because Audi is kind of, they are 50-50 every time. When I see how are they getting ready with the 26th season, he's not promising, but hopefully they can revamp something. Hulkenberg is going there in a hope that he can be fighting for wins finally. But if they don't do that, then I know Audi has a good engine throughout history. I mean, you look at their battery packs and stuff like that. They are collaborating with Porsche and Volkswagen as well. So that wouldn't be an issue. The problem will be aero still. So the more aero efficient car there is, the better their chances will be. At the moment, you see, Ferrari is not a fluke engine. They can win races. Why are Sauber not developing a good chassis?
Yeah.
It still goes to the aero package.
Okay. And lastly, Visa Cash App.
Visa Cash App is a schoon. Development schoon. You can see only one child there for like so many years. Daniel Ricciardo not progressing.
Well, Danny Boy is very experienced, but he's really being blasted by the Japanese chat.
Yep. Blasted. I wouldn't say blasted, but then he's not dominating the Japanese chef as he should. I think Yuki is really showing up this year.
Yuki is really, really doing his job.
I think he pulled twice as much points as Daniel.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
It's like, they are sixth in the constructors.
Yeah.
A moment ahead of Haas.
That's what I mean. If Checo doesn't do it there, he can just run to the mid.
There's a concern there actually. Why? Yuki is hot-headed. So if there's any issue with Max, they'll be in trouble. So that's the only reason hindering him from moving up. Other than that, he's good.
Yeah, that's quite good. Yeah. Okay, so to wrap up segment,
Hold on, we're missing one team. Sorry, Williams.
Yeah.
Williams have just signed Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
So
Biggest news now.
I'm very surprised at James Vowles pulling power because they are not the fastest team. They are almost the slowest team. Yet next year their lineup looks like they are challenging for podiums. Sainz and Albon, they are two very, very good drivers. So I think the pressure is on for Vowles to try and get a car that is.
Do you think Carlos will perform next year?
Yeah, I think Albon and Sainz will be on equal terms.
Yeah, they are very politics neutral. They go about to do their jobs, and I think they're good with car development.
Correct.
But the only downside is that
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Sargent going.
Well, he doesn't have a seat anymore at the moment.
He's no seat.
on his way.
See that?
I don't think his performance is good enough. But I think the pressure is on Vowles to bring Williams into 2020 because 2026 because their factory facility is 10 years behind. Their capex, everything, their infrastructure is all very, very old. So he knows what it's like to be in a race winning team, to run a race winning team. So whether or not he can bring this team to that level, it remains to be seen. But he's already did a signal of intent. He managed to sign Albon a multi-year deal, and now he's captured Sainz.
Okay.
So it's time for the team to.
With Sainz holding up for so long and then analyzing which is the best foundation for him to be in, I think it will be a right decision for him to go.
Yeah, because
Sainz is very analytic. He gives instruction to Ferrari.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If you guys know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So for him to decide to go to Williams is a big thing.
Yeah. Stop inventing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know YouTube Formula 1 does a recap of a race in 60 seconds? Okay. So let's do that for each of you. What would you like to see in the next 10 rounds? Okay. We'll start with Eugene. 60 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
I would like to see McLaren step up, polish up their team strategies, bring the fight to Mercedes and Red Bull more. At the same time, I'd like to see Ferrari also step up in their development. Nothing. I think what's to add to a more exciting season is that we see more multiple winners, more overtakings, and let's just go all out until the end of these regulations. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Right. For me, I would say that the development race will be on because second half of the season, the reset of the aerodynamic allocation is refreshed. So Red Bull will still have the less aero time, wind tunnel time compared to other teams. So if you look at the analytical point of view is that Mercedes will be on top with McLaren, then Red Bull, then Ferrari. Then I'll go with either Williams or RB. Then comes Aston. Aston is slightly going down better if you look at their performance, but they are still coming into the points like 8 and 9.
A bit now.
Correct. So another team, Haas is consistent. Their base package is superb. with how they manage the tires. Steak, wake up. I don't know what you're doing, either cooking steak or whatever. I don't know, but you need to wake up. And then Williams cooking for 2026. Simple as that.
All right, beautiful. So that's a wrap for segment 2. I will come back with some F1 news at rumours. All right, stay tuned, guys. Hi guys, welcome back to Paddock Show, episode 24 with Eugene today and all this collection of diecast. If you missed our coverage, will be in the earlier segment of this episode. Okay. So last week we were at MCS MT round 3 and round 3. So that's the first race that we actually sponsored.
Yeah, we Paddock Show sponsored Race Rally Team KL, and fortunately they did really good in their Toyota Gazoo series, whereby Shafiq was on the podium, double podium finish for them. And again, thanks for giving the opportunity, the platform for Paddock Show to show that if there's a commitment, if there is a team collaboration, success is just around the corner.
Yeah. So basically, round 4 will also be on track. With also Castrol.
Yes. And Leona also double podium finish. Congratulations to her and also Mark Chu, right?
Yes. Basically, so well done to both of you because you all pulled a very good performance on.
Correct. Deserve the podium, basically.
Yeah. And then also to Sophia, I think for your first outing as the youngest female driver in Malaysia, you also...
Malaysia books on record. She registered. Wow. The youngest female is 15 years old, bro.
15 years old.
So get your daughter ready, yeah?
So Malaysia, already recorded her as the youngest 15.
Okay, I have to target. Maybe tomorrow she start driving. She can turn left and right already. Yeah. She understands
the Mclaren.
Yeah. No. It's in the rear steering wheel.
Oh.
The other day we told her turn left. She can turn left, turn right. Okay lah. Tomorrow sign up with Leona Chin.
Master Academy. Female, the Formula Academy.
Yeah.
So MCS is very good. So the next round 4 will be in September.
Yeah. Just some feedbacks about the MCS that what we have seen. This is for basically Sepang Circuit and Petronas to take note. The event is huge. Porsche was there. Pilot Super Series was there. Malaysia Championship Series was there. And also Toyota Gazoo. 4 different major series in Malaysia.
Toyota Gazoo was there as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I don't see any promotion events by Petronas or Sepang Circuit to promote this particular championship. You can do in social media a lot. If it doesn't reach to the people, it doesn't reach to the people. If it reaches, fine. But how many of them are well known about motorsport, the culture and all that? You need to go state by state to promote all this. The moment you do this, you will see the more new fans that you will gather. Formula 1 fans, there's a lot already in in Malaysia. We have a lot of Formula 1 fans already in Malaysia. Countless. You can see the huge community in social media and also in real life as well. I mean, when you ask anyone what is Formula 1, they know. In KL or in Johor or in Penang, they do have knowledge of Formula 1. So why I'm saying this, that we need educational promotion events to such a local prestigious championship series. There will be more fans coming in, definitely. And you do always on the weekend, which is the time for them to spend time with family. Bringing more activities on the grandstand. The grandstand is empty. In between grandstand, there's space along the way for you to do events or some activities or concert. Do both. Something like festival. It can work. But I don't see that effort. This championship series is not a lot. Not a lot of races. Maybe 4 or 5 or 6 races.
But only as I see also, you need to take note. Thai Super Series. My friend was actually racing there in E1 P1 with the Lamborghini. Wow. So basically, his major complaint is they are a major series, but they are located in the South Paddock.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Thai Super Series is the biggest biggest racing series than Toyota Gazoo.
Really?
Why is Toyota Gazoo
in the main paddock?
In the main paddock, for instance?
I mean, you see, there's still a lot of issues with Sepang Circuit management side. So, first thing, management side, marketing side is nowhere. They just rely on social media and then go with the events where you see the booths. I've taken pictures proof that there's nobody in the booth to promote. Even MotoGP, there's nobody there.
Yeah.
They just push into social media most of the time. So where's the effort? I don't see the effort.
The idea is there, but the thing is, we are only touching on your execution, on your planning, on your promotions. These are the things that you are still lacking on.
Yep, correct. You need to improve on that. Go state by state. Create awareness. You know, it can be a huge festival kind of a thing for Malaysia.
You know, like Eugene, when I was in Melbourne, you know, right? Austrian GP started promotional work way behind.
Yeah. 6 months, 1 year.
The minute you touch down in Tullamarine International Airport, you can see a big banner says, "Welcome to Austrian." Was this Foster?
Foster's Australian GP.
Yes.
We don't have to look very far. Singapore itself is already spamming my Instagram.
Exactly.
Where-
We are for a year.
Yeah, and I think it's easy to take. It's not easy lah. I mean, it's good to take a leaf out of Formula One events, because what they do is, like, for example, the Dutch GP. When you hear about the Dutch GP, instantly you will think of a party sensation, because during the weekend, every time there's a interview going on, you can hear in the background ta ta na na ta ta.
Max.
Yeah. So
You know, we're not saying that Sepang circuit is not doing well. It's actually doing very well. You know, with the terms of series that we have,
Yeah.
local series that we have. I mean, it's a good thing. But how many people are going there?
and
You know-
how many people are aware of it? I mean, I didn't hear of it until
Being a motorsport fan.
Yeah.
Thailand Super Series, Thailand Super Series.
Yeah.
If a motorsports fan like Eugene himself do not know NCS is in existence or Toyota Gazoo, what more a normal citizen?
Exactly. They just do promotion among themselves. like
They sometimes maybe
kampung, you know.
yeah they just do maybe a social media post, and then they report
That's
their
it.
boss and say that dah buat kerja.
Dah buat kerja.
So I think it's a mentality.
You know, the spectators are just amongst the race entrants.
Oh dear.
Entrance drivers like Tengku Jan, like Alistair Yung, like Ludoina Chin, you know.
So it's their own racers within Shafi.
So basically, if you want to expand it to a bigger pool, to find more talents, to get it more cultivated, you need the public.
Do you see there's no connection between go-karts and also the current Malaysia Championship Series? There's no connection.
Nada.
How they want to progress? You just stay in Gazoo, then you progress into a touring. Where did you go after that? After Gazoo, where do you go? For Malaysia.
So actually, this segment is a little bit before we go into F1 news. Actually, it's actually good that I want to touch this, because you see, even for open wheeler like go-kart, the people that are involved in go-karts are just the same cases. You got money, okay.
What I see, what is the person that I see in Sepang circuit for touring car? I'll see the same person in the go-kart.
Oh dear, correct.
Oh man.
So how do you expand? You are not expanding because it's your own fault by not exposing the culture of motorsport in the whole of Malaysia. You go Sabah, Sarawak, many people, bro.
See, we cannot have the same pool of people, because they will get all.
How much you want to
By
extract from the same pool?
We want people to translate from go-kart to Formula 4, to Formula 3, to Formula 2. Because like Olympics, we have road to goal. But we must have pathway for motorsports for Malaysia. Okay, start with go-kart. So then, it's road to Formula 1.
Yeah.
Even the Asian Classic Car Series, they're getting smaller and smaller. But the same faces that I see from 12 years ago until now, I see the same faces. Serious, bro.
12 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been a mechanic in Asia Classic Car Series before.
Yeah.
And then I see the same people there, still there.
It's the same cars that they use for the
Same car.
drivers parade.
Yes, same car. What?
So basically,
Just now you said talent pool, but it sounds like it's just a talent puddle now.
that's why.
Yeah. So how do you do it? How do you? They're just not. They know how to do it.
I think the reach,
They want to do it.
the reach is not there. And then they don't see the importance of reaching out to the new generation.
Malaysia got a lot of tracks. We got Beranang, we got
New circuit.
and then we have Sepang, and then
Pasir Gudang.
Pasir Gudang.
Yeah.
Is it? We have the tracks, we have the infrastructure, we have the know-how. It's just that how do you execute?
No, bro. If you look at our history, our Malaysian history in motorsport is very rich. You know, the touring cars series, Shalam Batu Tiga, a lot of well-known MotoGP riders. They miss those circuits, like Formula One, Sepang circuit. Even now, until now, Red Bull recently posted a tag in his social media saying that which circuit do you miss the most, and Sepang circuit was the first.
they're not the only ones.
On YouTube, I see plenty.
Yeah.
You know, it makes me cry, you know.
See, whenever they post up, you want Hockenheim, you want Sepang, you want the Turkish GP, Istanbul. Sepang usually is
You work
one of
with
the.
that high, lah. You
Yeah.
work with Liberty Media, lah. You don't have to do every year. At least you do alternate years so that people like us can go and new people can feel how Formula One festival looks like.
Yeah, because
So instead of we just spending money in Singapore or going to Suzuka or going to Australia,
Yeah.
why don't we spend on our own home soil?
See,
Yeah.
see, like last year, I went to Singapore GP. Flight ticket alone is 800, 800 ringgit. Accommodation for 2 nights is 1,000. That's 1,008 without the tickets.
yeah, before tickets, that's a crazy. That's just
food.
Yeah, food.
Yeah, murah Singapore.
So you imagine you
Lagi dah beli merchandise.
you're losing the money, you know. We are pumping the money into the Singaporean economy, you know, not the Malaysian economy.
Exactly.
So dah terbalik ni.
Yeah.
Thailand is coming into the beat. Indonesia coming into the beat.
Rwanda.
Africa coming into the beat.
Sepang Test Circuit malu lah. You all dah organize this circuit race for 13 tahun, 17 years, and you are
You just
backtracking.
let it wash the way like that.
Yeah, we as F1 fans, we want to celebrate F1 in our home country and showcase our country at the same time. I think Sepang circuit, we can easily do one episode on Sepang circuit. There's so many iconic moments. So many teams have made their mark in F1 because of Sepang, because of the
And if you want more proof, you go to sports bar, restaurants. They are all playing Formula One live events. People are there flocking into the restaurants, eating just to wait and enjoy the Formula One with the fellow friends. You know, then you say we got no fans. The buying power is not there. How can the buying power is not there? When our Malaysian people are buying Prada, iPhone, Gucci,
Tesla.
kind of expensive stuff, Tesla, and then you complain for event once a year that you don't have money.
Yeah.
Minister says, okay, we need 161 million to host the race. But you must also see the advantages of hosting the race. You host the race, kita punya hotel penuh, kita punya airline penuh, kita punya restaurant penuh.
You know, the vibe was different those days. You know, when they do road shows, burnouts, the F1 road shows that they do just outside KLCC, those were the days. I mean, golden moments I get to enjoy with my dad. Seriously, it was the best.
See, so it's a very different nostalgia. You know, every time when I drive around the outer Tanah Binjai at Sepang, it brings me a lot of memory and also sadness, I would say.
Bittersweet.
Angriness is there, you know.
You know, guys, I know I used to wake up at 2 a.m., you know, just to take money from all the hot dog stands and the burger stalls. We had to serve 100 over hot dogs in the span of 2 hours.
At 2 a.m.
Damn. From 12 to 2.
Wow.
I start was at 2 p.m.
Oh, from 12?
My parents used to cater the entire circuit.
Yeah, I used to buy burgers from his store. And I don't even know him.
So the excitement is there. We did the business, even though the business was not profitable as such, but we did it for the love of motorsports.
Given a chance, I'll definitely do again, right?
I would do it again. At the end of Sunday, when the race ends at 4:30, we just wish the next sporting season is tomorrow. Because we know exactly what went wrong.
Yeah, that's what you can improve on.
Because we bakar satay, we bakar burger, pouring fries, you know. And imagine you serve like 2,000 people within the span of 2 hours. Because after that, it's done and dusted.
Yeah.
Or after that,
50%
just left over.
90% off.
After that, it's 50% off, you know. 25 ringgit burger can go down to 10 ringgit burger.
Wow.
Yeah, last year in MotoGP, they were selling pizza for like 25, I think.
It's like,
What happened?
10 ringgit.
10 ringgit.
10 ringgit.
very long.
Hello.
So the only one yang laku is what? Was only the beer garden.
Yeah, man. That was top notch. When there's an alcohol, everybody will flock there.
Back then, when the Formula One is on, Pizza Hut, Domino's, Kenny Rogers, KFC cannot display that branding. Formula One management, under Bernard Kirsten, says no branding. Everything
Just name, right? Just
so they only put burger, pizza,
yeah.
but actually it's handled by franchises.
I see. That's
So it's a white
good,
label.
Yeah, there's good money also, isn't it?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm anti frustration. again.
Exactly. Okay, so that's a bit of Sepang, but we'll touch this with Azik later when
A proper episode
proper episode. Actually, we'll do one whole episode about
for Sepang.
the historical moments of Sepang.
Just celebrating Sepang lah.
Okay, since it's not here, but we are still race fans, we are still Malaysians, so this
Because we are celebrating 25 years.
25 years already.
Racing, yeah. In Sepang.
So, guys, Formula One news. What's the hottest news now?
Hottest news.
Hottest news will be recently. Our friend here won't like it lah, but recently there's rumors coming out about Red Bull. They say that some rumor. These are rumors. They are unconfirmed, but they are saying that Red Bull has had an advantage in the field because of like reminiscent to how last time Ferrari had the fuel flow controversy. They recently discovered that Red Bull has a brake bias technology, with the sense that they are able to adjust the brakes asymmetrically. How this affects the performance is that if you go through a corner, if you are able to adjust the brakes, because when a car turns, right, the tire spins at a different rate. It's more advantageous if one tire in a corner, the tire closer to the corner spins slower than the tire outside. So that will give a greater cornering speed. So what they're saying is Red Bull is able to adjust the brake bias during mid-corner so that they can brake more efficiently and turn the corners faster. That's how the RB19, RB18 have been so dominant, and even earlier this year. And apparently some other team found out, made an official complaint, and recently a new technical directive came out to say that brakes, they readjusted the rules to say that all brakes have to be the same force. That means they have to administer the same force, because the rumor is that Red Bull has been braking asymmetrically, so that's been giving them greater cornering speed. And conspiracy theories come out to say that the because of that Red Bull performance drop and this and that. That's why the Melbourne GP, the Red Bull brakes blew up for some reason like that. I think these are all conjecture, but that's one of the rumors coming out.
It's just the rumors. They didn't have the proper hard document to show that Red Bull did something illegal.
Yeah.
So I think Peter Windsor, who's always whining about Red Bull for the last 20 years,
he found the
keep
source.
whining. I don't know where he gets this source from, but maybe he's right, maybe he's wrong. We don't know.
Yeah.
Because there was no hard and fought document given by FIA to say that Red Bull was running this and this is the new technical directive. Unlike Ferrari, what they did before that.
Yeah.
It's different.
Did you guys hear about Vettel wanting to come back into Formula One?
Did he? Does he?
There was a video, yes. There was a
Saudi, apparently.
There was a snippet of him saying that he still has the driving in him.
Yeah.
But maybe as a reserve driver or something like that.
I don't know. For me, any Formula One drivers that still got the itch, the adrenaline rush, right?
Yeah.
They want it.
Yeah, like Alonso, he's how old is he? And he's
21?
And he still doesn't stop retiring and coming back.
Hamilton as well. So,
but touching on Audi, right? We were just talking off air just now. We were talking about Stick, about how backwards they are in terms of equipment. Sauber and their Swiss facility is one of the most advanced in this. But I think there's a lot of internal politicking going on. Recently, Andreas Seidel and also Hoffman, I think they got fired.
they left.
They didn't even it's not resignation. They just said openly that they got fired.
Then they took Binotto, right?
And they hired Binotto very quickly. I think Audi is not happy with how Stick is progressing, the transition into F1. And the team is in turmoil. I mean, Valtteri Bottas is a multiple race winner, most podiums by a Finnish driver ever. And it's making him look bad. He looks like Logan Sargent, no different from Logan Sargent with that car. It's so unfortunate. And Audi is a big name. They've got a rich history in race. So I think they're doing something. But there's something going on in Audi. And they lost out on Sainz.
Right.
That's why they had to quickly move to hire Binotto. I think that's a good move.
So the foundation is important.
Yeah.
You don't have foundation, you can't do much. That's why Toyota is not eager to come back as a team. They are into more collaborative manner.
Speaking of which, Toyota did announce that they want to become technical. They didn't announce, right? It was just rumors.
They
right?
will be a technical partner.
Oh,
with,
they will be.
Haas.
I see.
In
But
2028, if I'm not wrong.
28. Okay.
They will share technology parts.
Yeah.
They will create parts instead of Dallara giving them chassis or something like that. So they will switch away from Dallara to Toyota.
That's why they signed the extension with Ferrari until 2028. Okay, I see. But again,
No power in it at the moment. No intention of power in it.
but props to Komatsu. I think he's been developed. Like who knew that Haas was able this kind of development, right? The rate of development, I think they managed to keep up with or even better their pace of their car. Whereas
So it's like Kevin Magnussen crashing into others.
yeah, then unfortunately,
He's living Haas. Already.
yeah, his time is up. Unfortunately, he's been replaced by Ocon. I mean, I don't know how to feel about.
Another crasher.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel. I feel like it's a downgrade. I think they could have gotten someone better alongside
Exactly, bro.
Batman.
Money.
Yeah,
It's all monetary, I think.
unfortunately, does Ocon bring in a lot of money? Is he a paid driver?
No, he's not a paid driver. He
paid
pays
driver.
sponsors.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So any other news?
Jonathan Whitley left
Oh, yes.
Red Bull.
Yes, to do with Audi. Yeah.
Audi, yeah.
Yeah. Audi is making they're making moves, but I think the signs like the failure to capture signs really triggered some alarm bells.
I read Department of Justice in US is investigating Formula One for rejecting
Andretti.
Oh yes, yeah, rejecting the approvals for Formula One entry.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that?
Again, it all comes back to monetary value. You need to look into the existing 10 teams, that whether they agree or not. To allow share in the future points.
The price spots.
Yeah, price pools. Correct. So if let's say they agree, then they can bring in. But now the problem is the 10 teams are so greedy, they are not allowing the 11th team to come in on board. So they are still saying that you have to take over a team, existing team for you to enter. Which team can they take? LP? I don't know.
But honestly, what can the DOJ do though? It's like their jurisdiction is within America, right? So like FOM.
Yes, it's because
Liberty Media, American team.
Okay.
and Andretti is also an American team. They still have jurisdiction within their rights to actually explore some investigation and also some actions to be taken.
Okay. Yeah.
There is for that perceived some bribes or some irregularities or even bureaucracy.
Right. That makes sense. I was just thinking in the also like it is a small segue, but DOJ also opened a case about 1MDB.
Yes.
So I was like, what can you do to Najib at that point?
They couldn't do much.
They couldn't do much at that point. So
They took the boat. They did
right.
painting.
Oh, that's true.
They took the apartment.
Yeah. Okay. They can do something.
That's a long process, so we don't know.
Yeah. But eventually, we do hope to see Andretti in Formula One. I think any new team is welcome as a fan. Last time they used to be pre-qualifying.
Bro, they allowed Caterham, which never performed. They allowed HRT, which never performed. They allowed Lotus, which never performed. Andretti is a global also. Global motorsport, Marussia. Global motorsport company,
Yep.
Technological company as well.
For me,
And then they're denying it.
F1 fan, the more things you have on the grid,
The better.
the better. Is it because then the driver's market is not so saturated, and actually your F2 and F3 drivers
Can have chances, yes. Another point to note. Okay, there was a news. I mean, a bit of with the driver contracts. Zoe had a good point, saying that I'm a multiple race winner in F2. Nobody acknowledged that when I was winning in F2. People were more racist towards him. Say, this is Chinese guy he can't do much stuff in Formula One or whatever and not. Oliver Behrman is overrated. For me, directly, I'm speaking directly. He is not as good as other F2 racers.
So his points finish was not good.
No. If you give it to another F2 driver, they could have finished as well in the points.
Maybe higher.
Maybe higher.
Yeah, at that point.
Why I'm saying this is, Zhou is a race winner and he didn't have the hype. This guy is out of top 10 in F2 and then he got the seat chance in Formula 1. Bring the car home in points. And he got the appraisal and stuff like that. Okay lah, you are good. You managed to finish the race. Fine. Good for you. But then, I don't think he's as good as other drivers as well. F2 has a better driver than him. If you ask me, that's my opinion lah.
They
So
are
again, another politics.
right. Behrman, I believe, is got a Ferrari backing, right?
Yes.
And also, are they using it as a English like sort of bait because of Lewis Hamilton? Got in the English connection?
Tak tahu lah.
Or it could be like
Money lah.
or it could be John Elkann. Who knows?
Maybe I am a bit confused and puzzled how the community reacts to certain news and certain people. How they exaggerate some drivers.
Right.
With less talent than the others. So for me, it's pity for not seeing Zoe next year in Formula 1 grid because he's a good driver as well.
Understandable. Yeah.
Okay. So we are going to come to Dutch GP, right? Okay. So what are your thoughts on Dutch GP? Who will take it?
It's gonna be Orange Army, McLaren. I think it's McLaren.
That was a twist. Yeah.
Again.
I think it'll be either Lando or PS3. Like, if they don't screw up.
Yeah. They're gonna light the orange flares for McLaren this time.
I hope I'm wrong, lah.
Mercedes is not going to do it.
Again, it's a bit.
And also Max, this is home ground.
Yeah, but Zandvoort has the similar characteristics of Hungary. The circuit nature has a bit of low end speed kind of a
Slow speed. Yeah.
yes. So Hungary McLaren was fast.
Yeah.
So that is my view why I said that. So hopefully I'm wrong. As I said, maybe Mercedes could spoil the party. There's a reason why I'm happy that Mercedes spoiling McLaren's party. If you guys know, no. If you don't know, it's fine.
Quick one. I see that yours is still a bit not happy with Red Bull. Am I right?
Yeah, it is. And then the current rumors is basically because Andrew Newey is, I heard that he's already signed $100 million contract with.
Is it possible that Max exits
Max could go Aston. Yeah,
Aston Martin?
with Newey.
Yeah. Because the rumors are the Verstappen camp is not happy with Horner, and the stability that is
What's going on there?
the stability that's been because ever since
Just because of a girl.
that's because recently the passing of Dietrich Mateschitz has created a power gap. So people want to fight to see who is the
Everybody wants the power. Jonathan Whitley said it's the same.
Yeah.
He wanted the power.
Correct.
Then now he couldn't get the power. He went to
He quit. So Horner doesn't want to let go of this project that he's built since when he was 30 years old.
why should he?
Yeah.
He
So
built this team from the scratch.
but so is Verstappen versus basically Horner versus the world now. So Verstappen decided that it could be that Verstappen, if he feels that the car no longer can deliver for him, he would move. He would definitely move. And the opportunity is that if Newey signs for Aston Martin, Honda is there. It's a very familiar partnership. Dan Fallows is there. So he's going to somewhere that is not too foreign. And there's the money backing from Stroll and a rich owner. Sounds familiar, right? Dietrich Mateschitz and the brand.
And
So there is the similarities. Like I can see the allure, but first I think Aston Martin has to prove that they can deliver a race-winning car.
Exactly.
If they can do that, I don't see the pathway is open. Another alternative is he can just simply sign for Mercedes. Mercedes is still no slouch. I don't see a problem with him signing.
But they've already in the verge of signing Kimi. So
Right. So that is the caveat.
there's a closed door there.
Yeah, that's the caveat. Yeah, you're right. It's the same.
In terms of ranking for Dutch GP, McLaren,
McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, Aston, RB or Haas. Number 6 is RB or Haas because both of them are quite competitive. Then maybe I'll go for Williams. Williams is the same pool. Sorry, Aston, RB, and Williams are in the same pool. Other than that, is basically Stake,
right?
and then another team is what? Sorry, I forgot.
Tractor.
Oh, Alpine. Actually, Alpine improved a lot,
But they're up and down. Certain tracks they are just like out in Q1. Certain tracks they're competing for Q3. It's up and down now. I think it's track specific. But they demonstrated that ultimately Alpine is still a race winning team. People in Enstone, they don't forget how to win. But it's just that I think some parts are letting them.
Again, I say it's a management issue. Foundation is not there.
They fired their team principal again.
How many times you want to fire someone?
Oliver Oakes is in. He's got history with F2. So again, one of the youngest team principal right now
At the moment.
and the second youngest hiring since Christian Horner.
Wow.
So he's got some potential. I mean, it's his first job in F1. It's a tall order, but let's see how he does. Maybe we get the same deal again, another 100 race projection, and then it goes nowhere because
So people always go with 100 race projection, 200 race projection, but then they don't deliver.
yeah.
I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
100 days to 150 days projection is all total nonsense.
And there's still no clarity in their future whether they'll still be a works team or they still haven't sorted
They're going to be works team
Yeah.
with a
engine manufacturer.
custom engine.
Are they gonna buy from Red Bull?
Mercedes. Mercedes, right?
Mercedes,
Yeah.
It's not
Zach
announced.
Brown is after Red Bull Power Unit. I don't know why after all
What?
that. Yeah.
That doesn't seem very wise.
Yes, exactly. I say you.
So before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I've got 2 quick fire questions for each of you.
Yeah.
Okay, Kumar, how long have you collected diecast?
Since 1998, 97.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I told before, my dad bought some foldable McLaren F1s, Camel and also Marlboro F1. Then there was a circuit inside with the two miniature Senna cars. So I don't know where he bought from, but he gifted to me and my brother each. And then he used to buy us when we go for holidays, right? It's a must. He will go to one of the shopping mall. What's it called? I forgot the name. Gamma.
Oh,
Gamma shopping mall. Do you guys know?
Penang.
Penang, yeah.
Hey, it's a supermarket.
Supermarket,
Yeah.
That is where I started.
Wow.
Where my dad bought us Maestro 180 scale Porsches.
Yeah.
So from there we got addicted. See, it was like a tradition that every 6 months or 1 year we go there, we will buy.
Yeah.
And why do you like Honda so much?
Why I like Honda? Because Honda, they are unique. First thing first. The only manufacturer to compete in MotoGP, WEC, WRC, Super GT, IndyCar. What else?
Formula 1.
Formula 1? Formula 1.
It's a big one.
Yeah, I was waiting.
Super Formula. I mean, there's so many categories that they have competed in, and they are fighting against all the giants, European giants, and they are managing to win, emerge from that. TT Triumph, TT Island of Man TT, multiple race winners, MotoGP multiple championships, Formula 1 multiple championships, Dakar Rally multiple wins. What else, bro? Honda, Ferrari don't do that. Mercedes don't do that.
It's a legendary brand for you.
For me, it's super iconic. The people, don't highly regard them because they are Asians, maybe. But for me, they are the true powerhouse, Asian powerhouse that is managing to beat the likes of Mercedes, Ferrari, BMWs, Ducatis at a point.
They've got a very rich racing history. Yeah.
Super rich history. They are everywhere, basically. Touring cars, GT racing, endurance races.
There's even a race specific.
Powerboats.
Yeah, power boats.
Yeah, powerboat F1.
They manufacture lawn mowers. They manufacture jets. So who does that? You name me one manufacturer that does multiple engineering
So it's obvious.
and even robots.
Kumar love Honda.
Yeah, definitely.
Forever Honda.
Hands down, forever Honda.
So my question to you, a short question.
Yeah.
After Honda moved to Aston Martin, will you support Aston Martin?
I don't support Aston Martin. I support Honda.
That's a very interesting way to answer it.
Yeah. Because next time it'll be Ford, Red Bull, and Aston Martin, Honda, right?
Yeah.
So how will you sway your support?
I'm still gonna be Honda man.
I see.
The moment there's a logo Honda, I'm gonna go for that.
Wow. Okay, Eugene.
Yeah.
Amongst all the diecast collection over the years,
Yep.
which one is your most priceless that you would not even sell?
I think it's the same. The last episode I've mentioned the F2004 signed by Michael Schumacher. It's
So it's a Hot Wheels.
even though it's a Hot Wheels, even though it's not a big name brand, I think to me it's my closest connection to Michael Schumacher I have. He didn't personally sign it for me. He's signed it for somebody else, but because I'm able to obtain something that he's personally signed, it means a lot to me. Yeah.
What is your biggest F1 experience during a race?
My
Most memorable.
honestly, I've only ever been to one race, which is unfortunately
You've only been to one race.
yeah, in 2009 in Melbourne. 2009 in Melbourne. Bronze
So
GP.
you have not attended any Sepang races?
I have not, unfortunately, no. My dad wanted to bring me, but then Sepang was so hot and he got the hillside. He was spotting there during
C2.
Yes, so that time he went with his friends and he asked me, "You want to sit under the sun for X hours?" I told him, "No, I'll sit at home watch TV." But he did call me, and then after that I could hear the F1 car. So unfortunately, it could be ticket pricing unfavorable, the weather the infrastructure not so favorable. But when I was old enough to go on my own, I bought GA tickets. And I was there the whole day, the whole of Sunday, to watch Bronze GP win. I was like, who is this team and why are they winning? They've got no sponsors on the car.
Go to the one F1 village?
Yes, I did. So it was a lot of fun. One thing I really appreciated was that they made the whole F1 weekend an experience. So from start to end, you get different types of booths, you get different types of games, you get different types of exhibits. and the support races.
And you can try the tires
Yes, the pit
and also the lights.
the response times. And one thing I remember was at the time Jensen Button had the fastest.
Yeah, it's still the fastest.
Wow, he has the fastest response time among.
You see another Honda in disguise.
This guy.
See, Honda is everywhere.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you very much, Eugene. Thank you, Kumar. Okay, that's a wrap for episode 24. Okay, we'll be back with episode 25 after the Dutch GP.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much. Do subscribe, like, and comment in our YouTube channel. You can catch us on TikTok, on YouTube, and also Instagram.
Yeah.
And we are also currently finding some sponsors for our teams.
Yeah.
Of NCS Round 4.
For anyone who's interested, please do approach us, and then we will talk further in terms of how the sponsorship could work.
All right. Thank you, guys. Take care and
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Yep.